in the saddle. Saddle's a little uncomfortable. There it goes. Oh, that's better. All right, where was I? Maybe I was on some gloss black. What's up, Just Bean? How's it going? On the end of this brush. Actually, you know what? I think there's too much flex in your brush. Let's try this bad boy. Problem with this thing. Why I'm jumping in here with doing his little detail work right off the bat. I usually like to warm up a little bit first. There's not much difference between once you start touching a little bit of chrome on gloss black, it really starts to get hard to separate the gloss black from the chrome. What's up, Salty Lou? How's it going? Having a nice Saturday? I'm gonna be on here until about 3:45. Well, probably not that short. Probably about 3:30. So then I gotta go run an errand. And I think I'm gonna make some dumplings tonight. I'm feeling like I'm gonna do a little bit of cooking. And I've been seeing all these dumpling things on my fucking Facebook feed. So I think I'm gonna make some dumplings tonight. happen to have all the ingredients. So that's gonna happen, I think. And then hopefully I can jump back on here and get some more painting done. All right, on. What are you painting? I mean, besides yourself. See what I did there? Why are you painting yourself? Oh yeah, the dumplings. Oh, my belly's growling thinking about it. Excuse me. Lady Deadpool. I'm actually I think I'm gonna do the Wicked Deadpool 3 characters. I think I'm gonna do Deadpool, Wolvie, and Lady Deadpool on my next run. They have like simplified bases where it's basically just them on a little platform, and so I'm thinking about I'll just do those simple bases, and if I do that, I'll just do all three. So I could basically run each statue in 2 plates or in 2 runs. So I could run all those in a couple days, and then I'll paint 3 statues at once. That's yeah. I'm considering doing a Lady Deadpool next. I think I will. I think that'll be cool. Send me some pics of yours when you're done. Yeah, I need to do a Deadpool or 2. There's so many statues I want to do, and it's not even like that I'm not gonna do them. I'm just having a hard time picking the order at which I want to do them. There's another what's it? Wolverine statue, Wolverine and Sabretooth statue that I want to do. Kind of want to do the full diorama of them fighting because it'll make it kind of tall. Cool. Got a Colossus and a Juggernaut. I've got that Wolverine and a Juggernaut. And he's more in like a studio pose, which is pretty cool. So many statues. I need to do a Silver Surfer. I really like I like the what's it called? The Planet Hulk Gladiator diorama that they did. And now that I have a really good chrome, I am itching to do a Silver Surfer. The thing with the surfer though is like it's got to be flawless. Like the print job has got to be perfect. And I just don't know if I'll have the ability to do that or not. And I think I can do it. I think I can figure it out. Just gotta pay attention to the post print work is where it's gonna be all the time is gonna be spent sanding and prepping the surface before I chrome it out. I mean, it is just chrome, so it's like not a whole lot of paint, you know. But yeah, the bulk of that video will just be me sanding down Silver Surfer parts until they're perfect. Little silvery nubs really add a little bit of life to this thing. Touch that one up. It's kind of ugly. I hear unsanctioned hammering downstairs, so I wonder what's going on. It always makes me nervous when I hear construction and I was not consulted. Yep, sometimes that happens. No matter how careful you try to be. I think there's a little hair or something on the end of this brush. I'm not a very good brush keeper. I tend to think of them as a consumable part of this hobby. So whenever they start getting really bad, I just scrap them and buy another set, which leads me to just, you know, disrespect them. I need to get better. I need to be a better brush keeper. Look at that. This fiendish yellow. They stopped making Phoenix Flames, which I'm kind of upset about. I like that color. This fiendish yellow is pretty close, though. It was what they recommended as a substitute on the Army Painter website. No, I don't think that's going to work at all. Yeah, nope, that does not work. Go in here with touch this primer, then re-yellow it. Yellows have got to be the toughest color to deal with, I think, in my opinion, paint-wise. Like, oh yeah, speaking of, I think I saw a couple spots. On the cape that needed a little bit of yellow. fine line of red, I think. All better. Wait, did I miss one? All right, that's good enough. Alrighty. I believe everything is ready for. No, I want to hit that with a little bit of red just to tighten that up just a tad bit. Those are all ready for varnish. Place another round of varnish. Need a dry brush crypto. And then he'll need a varnish. So I'll do that first. Then I'll run everything through the airbrush. Then I think I can start shadowing. Yeah, then I can start shadowing and washes and stuff. First, let's get a little something on this thing here. Go brass. What do I want? The bright gold. Oh, I watched the Superman movie again last night. His belt buckle is not metal; it's the same color yellow, but his whole belt is glossy. So I'm going to do the inset part with the wash and a satin varnish, and then gloss the rest, and then that should be enough for that. And then after I do the shadows, I'll do the piping. I'll just hit all the piping with the gloss, and then that will make that stand out a little bit better. Because sometimes it looks like the piping on a suit is like a lighter color, like an actual like lighter blue. But then sometimes it just looks like it's the exact same blue and it just has a slightly different, like a slightly glossy finish. So I'm going to gloss it first, and if I don't like it, then I may have to go in and mix up a little bit of super light blue. I don't usually... One of my pastel-y kind of light blues. Now I'm going to go in here with bright gold and touch on this super color. What do I thin my paints at for brushing? I use distilled water for the most part. Um, for metallics, I usually like to use airbrush thinner. This case is so small. I need such a small amount. I'm just using water. It doesn't really matter. But as far as the ratio goes, it depends on the pigment. I've learned some pigments are just naturally thin, whites, yellows, that kind of deal. Browns also. Reds don't need as much thinning. But then for like just regular paint, I mean, it's kind of one of those things you just kind of have to, at least for me, I've learned to just kind of learn to feel it out versus trying to measure it. I mean, for the brush and for the application, like sometimes, like this particular case, I'm letting this gold go on a little thick. But you know, sometimes you want to thin it out a whole bunch and make a bunch of passes. do like to keep the brush mostly dry. I found that it'll just keep saturating your paint if you don't dry off your brush. You know, if you just rinse it and then just go right into your paint, you're taking a bunch of rinse water with you. I think I might put a little black wash down in there just so the little S, you know, kind of pops off a little bit. I might put a little drop of wash down in there. Oh, right on. Yeah, it's one of those things that takes some practice. You know, I mean, I was still struggling with it for a long time after I got started painting, and I will say it's better to have your paints too thin than have them too thick, because you can always do multiple coats. But if you leave a big glob of paint on there, it's just going to junk up your stuff. So you don't want to do that. Speaking of, does this thing still have the support? Look at that. Don't normally like to do this. A little bit of sandpaper. Got a couple little support marks that I'm just now finding. Figure out why this thing was looking kind of rough. And then we'll paint over them like it didn't even happen. Yeah, that's better. Much better. That is what I'm here for. I mean, seriously, like the reason why I started just live streaming and having this channel to begin with is like I was where you were. You know, I was a beginner not too long ago, and you know, it's not easy to, you have to bounce around from, you know, lots of places to find all your information, you know, and that's cool and all, but I felt like if I could make myself available to help answer any questions, then and maybe, you know, with my videos, my tutorial videos, if somebody can learn something from that, and that's fantastic. That's the idea, that's the goal here. Just kind of want to help beginners, you know, get into this hobby because I truly enjoy this hobby. Like, I've tried a lot of things and nothing ever stuck beyond, more than a couple months. I've been doing this steadily for almost 4 years now. And I only started the channel like 2 years ago or a year ago or something like that. I don't even remember when I started. But yeah, I mean, this honestly, like, this hobby is just one of those things that like has captured my attention in such a way that if I can, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to do this, for a living at some point. Because it's the perfect, like, the perfect culmination of all the things I've ever been interested in for my entire life. The 3D, the sculpting, the chemistry, the painting, the artistry, just all of it. And so if I can get more people doing it, I'm gonna try. I mean, it requires some level of skill. I mean, you have to be able to control a paintbrush. But, it's not something that you can't not pick up with enough practice and enough will. You just got to have enough willpower to want to learn how to do it better. And it's just fun. It's a good way to spend your life credits. You wake up every day, not sure what to do, what you're going to get into. It's a good way to spend your time. I just kind of look at it as putting a little artistry back out into the world, in a world full of bullshit and craziness. I just kind of want to be a little calm spot in the storm for whoever would like to join me. See what, I'm painting this thing like somebody's paying me for it. And I just need to ease up. These are all fine. I'm being super nitpicky right now. All right, let's move on. That's ready for varnish. That's ready for varnish. All that is ready for varnish. The collar's done. Let's do some dry brushing. Oh, I need to cycle through my paint wells. They're all dried up. All right, so for Crypto's top coat, I've dry brushed him. I've already hit him with an off-white. That's what's on there now. It's just gray primer and off-white. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was a London gray and an off-white. I love his little face, his little dog face. So I think for the top coat, I'm gonna just push it and I'm gonna go with cold white, which is the whitest white that I have. It's the whitest of the whites. I do have several shades of white though. I'm kind of proud of myself now. I finally have a decent library of paints. That's another thing too. Like, as a beginner, like, my impulse was to go out and like just buy a whole buttload of paints. But what I ended up doing is, like, every project that I did, I would expand my paint range a little bit. So like if I needed a blue, I would buy a range of blues just to kind of fill it out. if I needed a green for a guy, or if I need a red for like a Spider-Man or whatever, I would buy like a swath of red, and then just over the years, just kind of built up a nice palette. Nice palette to choose from now. All right, let's get rid of this. Dab it. Space. It don't matter. I do need a paper towel though. Alrighty. I think I hit him with a bigger one. So little dry brush tip. Don't go in completely dry. Wet the bristles a little bit. That way it doesn't give it that powdery kind of texture, and it helps the bristles release the paint a little easier. Don't want to soak them, just give them a little mist. I do need to upgrade. I need to print off one of those dry brush things I'm talking about. One of those dry brush paint, excess paint removal plates, where it's basically just a bunch of shit on a flat plane. It's just a bunch of geometry on a flat plane. But it's supposed to grab all the extra paint. So in this particular instance, I'm not gonna white them out all over. Just kind of want to hit some high spots, like right here along his back. They're kind of at the front of his legs. Crypto's pretty bright. It's pretty bright white. I do like this blue gray that I got in here so far. Hard to see any change, but it kind of builds up. Kind of have to just trust the process. Just trust that it's happening. Start getting impatient, and your dry brush gets full of paint. Really hard to dry brush with white. Also, wait, where's this cape sit? I feel like I'm just wasting my time. I am just wasting my time. Everything on along his back is irrelevant. leave that gray in the partition there. Maybe I need to be a little heavier handed with this. It's really hard to see. Actually doing anything or not. I need the color to help contrast it. Yeah, it is. Alright. The body's definitely brighter. I've never really painted, I haven't painted that many dogs, animals in general, but dogs specifically. This is probably only the second dog I've ever painted. I'm learning that their skin tones underneath are black. So it's weird. So like their mouths, nose, the lips, all of that's all blacked out. The eyes, all around the eyes are black. He's got brown irises. But the surrounding part is all black. Oh yeah, you can definitely see a difference on this portrait. Way too much. Going here with a smaller dry brush to get inside his ear. That's good. It helps to have a real life reference. Smaller brush. Scrub out this white out of this dry brush. I don't do it now, I'll forget. It'll be dried in there, and then my dry brush is shit. What we were talking about earlier about dry brush or about brushes. It's weird. I do baby my dry brushes. These I do not want to have to replace. But my other regular just base coat brushes, I beat the shit out of those things. These little especially the little baby ones. When you find a good set of dry brushes, good dry brushes are hard to find too. I did buy a set of Army Painter, this little set of Army Painter dry brushes. It had like three, had like a small, medium, and a large. These little Army Painter Masterclass dry brushes. These are actually pretty good. I have a whole slew of others, but I use these most often. Yeah, it's mostly just going to be putting some black wash in there. It's going to set that contrast apart. This whole lot of gray and white. Just not going to get a whole lot of separation like that. But when I get some wash in there, the wash will make it better. I haven't heard of Opus Artists. I think I just picked these up on a random buy from my local hobby town. I was in there buying some paints, and I saw these. I was like, "Oh, that looks good." Especially this little baby one is the one that caught my eye. It's like when you need to dry brush really small areas, really tight areas. Getting in there is the toughest part. This little thing makes it much easier. Hit him right across his crown here. The light's going to be hitting him. And then to help separate his eyebrows. So I'm going to be going in here with some wash for the most part. Get around his cheeks and his face. I feel like standard rules for portrait painting still apply to a dog. You know, you want some darkness under the eyes and a little bit of brightness on the cheeks. Gonna help that stuff pop off. Stash. All right. He still got too much dark blue gray around his middle of his eyes. Oh. Almost got it, almost done. Starting to get a little chalky. This thing is crazy. This thing was a crazy thing to print. I tell you, all these little hairs sticking off. I honestly was impressed that it survived. That it made the run as smoothly as it did. All right, I think we are done dry brushing. Making sure they kind of match tonally. All right, I think I'm ready to varnish all this stuff. That seems like the next logical thing to do. But I also need to take a quick recess. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, let's get back to it. Head over to this airbrush box. Oh yeah, I forgot I moved it. I made it tall for the cape. So I think I'm just gonna set and varnish everything. I'll go and do specific like gloss varnishes later. Switch this over to a big cup. Pressure's low. This needle's dirty. Yep, I was a bad airbrush owner last night too. I left a bunch of paint in my airbrush. Well, not a bunch, but more than I would have liked. But nothing little alcohol and white won't fix. Goodness, Bobby, what'd you do? Should have wrote this thing down last night. I'm so ashamed of myself. Alright, well, I don't think it's spotless, but it's cleaner than it was. Some airbrush cleaner through there. Sorry for the delay. The closing crew did not do a good job last night. Alright, there we go. Now we're ready. Satin varnish. stray hair in this body while I was working on it. Want to varnish that in there if I didn't have to. Oh, there's another one. I gotta quit letting my cats in the studio. Alright, well, I'm actually going to end the stream here because I gotta go run an errand and make some dinner. And then I'll pick back up later. Until next time, take it easy.